live on a Mercury day. Mercury goes direct. Really? Am I coming through clearly now? What's up, everybody? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. Your spiritual this, that, and the other. Really? I got a lot of titles. Who gives a shit? None of those are really useful right this moment. Really? I guess. If I was trying to introduce myself to somebody, what I'm trying to do is take this damn dress off. What's up, everyone? I am the Lilith reincarnated, your messenger god, the first child of God, the dark goddess. In order to keep up with me, you had to see when I posted my community page, my latest live video, anything in my shorts. I am fully aware it's early. Both my kids were extremely confused when I walked in at 3 o'clock. What happened? All hell broke loose. And if it hasn't, it will. Really? Yep. You see that card in front of you? I pulled that card yesterday, and that is the energy we are in. I am the Battle Crow. That was my last life. Welcome. That was the last time I was here, 100 years ago, in the 1700s. What is the Battle Crow? I really don't have anything to do with the fights. I just determine who walks off the battlefield or not. Really? Yeah. So that's how that is. I don't get to get my hands dirty. But today, I definitely sharpened the knife. Really? And I think this goes back to all those postings that we kept getting about being overly protected. Really? You fucked with the wrong one. You fucked with the wrong one. What happened? I don't know. When I got to work, I had gotten an attitude. And I gave that attitude to my boss, and we went at it. Really? Yeah, what was the attitude? Well, it's a big day for me, and I'm supposed to meet my new owners. And I go to see what's on the calendar. She has me double booked all morning, all afternoon. And I'm pissed off. I already said it yesterday. I was like, I'm not doing everything. I'm not here to pick up the slack. You're the director. When you don't have employees, it's your job to pick up the slack. Really? Well, I said it kindly, and eventually just came out. I feel like I'm doing all the work, and you're not supporting me. Oh, really? Is what she said. And then she starts taking notes, and then she goes running to the director. Go right ahead. I have a new HR team here. I have a new HR team. There's a whole team of people. They're called human resources. Really? When it comes to employment issues, they're the ones that decide, not your director. Really? So she made a big mistake by doing that. So then she put this wall between us. Really? And I went in and I told her, look, this is what's going on. She's not carrying her weight, and she expects me to carry the weight, and I'm not going to let these new owners believe that all of this is my job, because it is not. And I explained that while I'm upset. And that, she has no hands-on with this. As we came in, we became all of it, and she believes that her job is to sit at the computer all damn day. Really? It's maybe if you're fully staffed, but when you're not, you're not. So as I tell her that, same thing, you have me double booked. Oh, we'll just cancel that. You shouldn't be canceling. You should be going and covering. But she didn't want to cover. And she hung herself so hard with what happened. Why am I home at 3? At 3 o'clock, I'm supposed to run bingo. She came in and said, I'm going to do it. I said, okay. And I turned to Tammy. I said, well, Tammy, there's nothing for me to do. Do you have a problem if I go home? No, go right ahead. I clocked out. And then I came back and told Tammy, by the way, she had a 3:15 scheduled in memory care that she didn't want to be part of. So that's why she ended up doing bingo. So there's another task not being done over there. And I left. Really? Yeah. And that was the whole point. She keeps trying to put me to do all of the work in memory care plus assisted living and the stuff that I'm doing in independent care. And she's not doing shit. And she proved it all day, because all day she was sending kitchen staff to go into memory care. There was no reason she couldn't go in there and do those. Really? Yeah. So she really fucked herself today. When I made an argument about I'm doing everything and she wanted to say, no, I'm not. And then she spent the whole day doing nothing. She validated the whole truth. Really? Oh, man. And that's where it was, too. It's like Tammy said, I told her that the boys are not supposed to be in there. They can help out, and they helped out when we didn't have anybody to run activities, but they're not supposed to be in there. She put them in there all day because I couldn't. I had other things I was scheduled to do. And so her taking away my bingo She thinks she's hurting me. No, you sent me home. I'm in my fucking jammies now. I'm feeling good. I'm going to smoke a big fat joint and enjoy the rest of my day. And it's shady. I got a good day for myself. What you did is fucked yourself trying to be rude. Really? She first, as I'm sitting there setting it up at 2:30, the new owners are there. They're excited. I'm visiting. She sends one of the kitchen staff. He said, I can help out. I was like, no, I got this. And while I'm standing there, she's like, no, I'm going to do bingo. Okay. Then I'm going home. There's no reason for me to sit here like Terrell and play, you know what I mean, to shoot pool for the next 2 hours when there's nobody in memory care and that's what you're trying to get me to do. Why don't you go in there? Nope. Realistically. And that's where I said I left at that. I was like, by the way, there was something scheduled at 3:15 in memory care that she abandoned to take over my bingo. Have a nice night. Really? Oh man, I'm throwing you guys to the wolves. I already said it. I already felt it, dude. I already felt that she wasn't doing her job. And I had this intuitional feeling that you could take her job. You're doing her job. With the one exception of the emails and building that calendar. And that calendar doesn't take 30 days to build. And you're not doing it right if you're sitting there double booking shit and none of these things are actually being run. So, you know, as far as who's doing their job and who isn't, we can obviously see. And it turned into a fight at work. Brand new owners, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're going at it. Really? Yeah, the office is closed, but now they got a problem. Really? Yeah, they really do. And of course, they met with the staff in the morning, and then in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, they met with the residents. And as I was coming in at the end, there's one of my residents complaining about the care and memory care, the activities and everything. Verbalized it right there. I'm not making up shit, bro. Who's this fall on? The director of activities. You're going to say it's my fault? Or are you going to say it's the hostess that you moved from the kitchen into memory care? She was never an activities coach. You used her to cover when you had no activities department. And now, you know, you just leave her in there for 40 hours a week and everybody's complaining that nothing's happening in there. And then when it came down to it, you wanted to put me in there and I refused. They made me a promise and she hugged me and said, you are not going anywhere. You are assisted living's full-time activities coach. And then I told her about, you know, Sunday. I was like, when staff doesn't come in, it's management's job. So she wanted me to come in on Sunday. And I said, you know what? I can't. And it was a problem. It's like, well, I only asked because you said you were so close. It doesn't matter how close I am. You're on salary. And when things don't go, you're supposed to be here. Realistically, yeah. So that's where it is. And then I hear Tammy said, don't worry about Sunday. I'm coming in. Why does the director of operations have to cover the director of activities position? Explain that to me. I'm sure Tammy's not okay with this. And then I heard what happened on Saturday. They told me what a shit fest it was. Nobody told the guests that I wasn't going to be there for bingo on Saturday. She was one of the healthcare workers. I didn't see you. You were sick. How are you? I was like, oh man, I went to the hospital. She's like, let me tell you that day. It was all hell broke loose here. They didn't send anyone. Nobody had nobody had keys to the activity room. Nobody set it all up. I called them at 8 o'clock in the morning and said I wasn't going to be there. They had time for somebody to show up and be part of their only huge activity on Saturday, which is bingo at 3 o'clock, 3:30, I think it is on Saturday. But they didn't. That's not my fault. And as far as her double booking, and that's what I said, you made these schedules knowing that she was going on vacation. She said, no, I didn't know she was going on vacations when these were made. And I was like, but you've done nothing to rectify the conflict in the schedule. And I took my book and I said, can you tell me, Lisa, what we have planned today? She said, I can't unless I look, because you're not running anything. So you don't even know what the day looks like because you're not hands-on in the day. How did she not remember? So she has this, it's not real. It's a wood burning class, but they weren't going to use real wood burning. She had some substitution to it she was telling me about. And she's like, oh, it's going to be real cool. You didn't show me how to do it. And it was on the schedule. And you bumped out of that. And now you're calling bingo numbers. When she's done with the bingo game, Tammy's going to come up to her and say, what happened with the wood burning in memory care? Oh, I forgot. That goes back to last week when we had 3 performers show up on happy hour and she had to pay all 3 of them. And that's not only it. I had Bonnie today, and Bonnie was, Bonnie don't want to deal with anyone else. She said, I just want you. I just want you. And I said, Bonnie, when I first got here, I promised myself that I was going to fight for you. And her face lit up. I said, I can tell, Bonnie, that nobody fights for you. They fight with you. And I'm here to fight for you. She said, Phoenix, that means so much to me. She said, you mean so much to me. And that's it. She doesn't have it on the schedule. Bonnie is sure that her quartet is coming on Friday and on Saturday. It's not on the schedule. We worked so hard. I worked so hard with this woman to set this schedule, but you didn't put it on the calendar. Your only job is that stupid calendar. Really? Yeah, it turned into a fight at work. Really, the cool thing is the new company is buying another location in Northwest Denver, which I could easily get my hands on. Not to mention they have 40 other locations, from Texas to Vermont to Utah to fucking everywhere. Play with me. I double dog dare you. You hired me because I'm good at entertaining, and I'm high upbeat, and I'm good at crowds, and I'm good at this. I didn't come begging. You did. And you're not going to take advantage. And that's what I said too. I was like, it came down to it. I told her straight up, I come into my office and every morning I got to clean up. I got to clean up from the night before if I didn't already clean it up. I said, I'm not the only one that works here. I told Tammy about that. I was like, on Sunday, she had me come in for hours with nothing to do. And I'm bad about that. So I set up. And then she told me, no, don't do that. I'm going to go ahead and clean a closet. Tammy looked at me. She said, that's what she said? I said, yeah, I have the text messages. And it was very inappropriate how she messaged me to begin with. What time should I be there? Late morning? I said, Tammy, what does that mean to you? She said, I have no idea. I said, well, Ruth said 11:59. I thought it meant 10:59. I got here at 11. There was nothing scheduled till 1:30. There was no need for that. And I had already sent her a picture of the schedule before I came. She's going to catch it, bro. And I started to catch on, and I told Tammy and I told her the same thing. This is my fault because I came in here all gun-ho. I can do it with a smile on my face. I can do it. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to do this. I'm happy. I'm not happy anymore. I'm not happy to do everybody's work. We're supposed to be a team, and I feel like I'm holding up the whole activities department. And she looks at me astonished, like, how dare you? You're not acknowledging why I feel this way. Look at my schedule. I have every right to feel this way. You've made me feel this way, and you don't want to accept that you're not helping me, and I'm coming to you for help, and you're making me feel bad. So now, and that's what I said, until the professionality comes back, I told Tammy, I was like, you're my point of contact. Until the professionality comes back, I'm not going to deal with this. Really? No. And that's really it. It's like, you're the one that needs to be taking care of memory care, and you're not. Do you have a bad memory? Really? Yeah, cutting throats. And then I got a message from that dude. It was very surprising. I thanked him for being respectful enough to at least message me 3 days later. That's nice. I said, after 3 days, you're dead, bro. Really? Shh. You might not be a ghost, but you're still dead. You're dead to me. His message was, I apologize. I got a lot going on in my life. The only thing going on in your life is you, bro. Why would you invite a woman, make attempts to put a woman in your life when you ain't got no time for no woman? Go back to your life. Really? And that's what he said. He knew it when in the messages, I got 3 jobs and this. What? There's no fucking time for me. Oh, but I promise I'll make time for you. I didn't even say that. That was his promise. You promise. No. This explains why you're single. 1000%. I can explain why I'm single because I like it. Jesus Christ. Oh my. I was so upset. I was like, no, don't worry about it. He's like, well, I just don't want it to be bad blood when we see each other. No, you told me your work schedule. I know when to go to miss you. You're off 3 days. I can go buy weed on those 3 days. Really? I don't need to see you. I can avoid you for the rest of my fucking life, dude. That's cool. We don't need to talk about it. You didn't need to even say anything for me to forgive you. I forgive you. Whatever your problem is, forgiven. And it's not something I'm allowed to hold back. But yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. We're just cutting throats today. I double dog dare you. And cross me. What you gonna get? The Holy Spirit. Really? No, I'm not there to argue with you. In your quiet space, inside of your thoughts and your feelings, that's where my darkness comes to get you. Really? And it has nothing to do with me. Really? That's all right. That's what it is. It's like use and abuse me. Just watch what happens in your life. Really? Yeah. So that's what happened. And I'm off early, and that's at the same time, it's like I'm not evil. I might be a little vindictive. I knew exactly what I was doing when I when I said I was going home. I waited till I was clocked out to tell them that there's another activity that she just boned out on. It's like that was the perfect. I'm seeing tennis. It's the perfect setup. Really? Yeah, you're not setting me up. You're setting yourself up, bro. And that's what happens. You know what I mean? We go up and have this meeting. Why out of 100 and something people's staff, I'm the only person that has a question? Nobody else cares to ask, or nobody asks, you know what I mean? All you care about is the money issue. After they talked about money, there's nothing else to talk about. Really? I don't know. I had questions, and it's stuff like that. They'll remember me. Every one of those people know who I am. Oh, that's Phoenix. She's part of activities. Who are you? You were impressed. You made an impression. You're impressionable. You're important. You stand out. No, stand down. Really? Yeah. And I did. I hit her with it, and she immediately, she lit just like that. How dare you accuse me of not doing my job? No, I'm accusing you of making me do everybody else's. Whatever your job is, I don't know what that is. I'm just telling you I'm not doing everybody else's. Really? How dumb is she going to look? You know what I mean? When Tammy figures this out, she's got Terrell over there playing fucking, playing pool with himself, and she's over there playing freaking bingo. Really? Meanwhile, they're being neglected. Came to her this morning. I said, how am I supposed to go to the meeting when I have a 10, I have a 9, a 9:30, a 10, a 10:30, and two different departments at 11? She's like, don't worry about any of that. Meaning, we're just not going to do it. We're not going to find a solution. Just don't worry about it. That's not the answer. Not doing something is not the answer. And then I asked her, I said, as I was leaving, I was like, Tammy, I struggle with downtime. I feel like I'm abusing, company time when I'm sitting around doing something. So when I do have that downtime, what shall I do? She said, have you ever watched any of our videos? We have videos training on dementia. Sure. Really? Yes. So that's what I'll be doing. Not cleaning closets. I'll be training on memory care. Really, it might help if they try to put me back in there again. Seriously, I mean, I did go do the morning workout, and I was so excited about that. I was sitting there. I was frustrated. I just got into it with my boss, and I'm 5 minutes late, and they're all asleep. They're all asleep in front of the couch. I'm trying to figure out how do I get them up. There was a couple of them that were awake, and as I start counting, 1 and 2 and 3, they're falling asleep on me. It's like, oh, no. I got to get them up. And something happened. I was like, what do I do, Holy Spirit? And the Holy Spirit says, Great Balls of Fire. I was like, all right. So I put on Jerry Lewis, Great Balls of Fire. I put it on the TV. The next thing I know, the 5 men that were sitting in front of me that were dead asleep perked up, opened their eyes, and were ready to work out. They were wide awake. Really? Jerry Lewis, bro. Jerry Lewis did it. It was amazing. So then I had them all awake, and we did a good workout. I kept the song going, and it was really cool. And it's things like that. I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't had any training. I don't know how to deal with these people. I'm just trying to be fun and exciting with them all the time. Get their attention and get them to do some shit with me. And that was even earlier. I had to go do it was a word phrase thing. And I get up there. Of course, nobody's up there. And I'm trying to get some people to come be part of it. And there's this gentleman. He always wanders. He just wanders. I invite him. He never says yes. But I got him. I got him to sit down with me. And he was very bright, very sharp. I wasn't expecting that. We sat down. We spent about 15 minutes hanging out. And I did a word game with him. And I asked him what his favorite music was. He said Frank Sinatra. So we listened to some music, and it was some bonding. It was super cool. Same thing happened for my wine and cheese. Only one person showed up, but it was cool. We sat there and we bonded and we had a good time. And it becomes intimate when there's not a bunch of people, but at least there's somebody. And that's just poor planning and stuff like that. And that's what she did. She planned all these things. And then they had the meeting at 2:00. She didn't rearrange the schedule. She just canceled everything, meaning nobody showed up. So it says on the calendar, we're going to be here, but you get there and we're not there. And there is no reason for it. How many things were canceled today? I don't even know. I left my calendar. But that was, you know what I mean? It was just one after another because you didn't schedule this properly or because you don't want to get your hands wet. Because we could finish all this if you didn't do this. So we have a big meeting at 2:00. And then she had two things. The men's club was at 2:00 that got canceled, but nobody knew. She didn't actually put it on the thing. It was obvious why it would get canceled. And then she had a 2:30 and then the 3. Realistically, well, nobody's leaving the living room during this part to be part of the 2:30, so you messed that up. And then, you know what I mean, what about 3? The people from the 2:30 are not going to be able to catch, they're usually done by 3, so they could be part of the bingo game. So then half of the crowd that usually comes to my bingo game was gone because they're part of something else. It was all kinds of fucked up today. Really? And it's not my fault. I don't build the schedule. I just freaking do what it says on there. I do the activities. I don't plan them. I'm not the coordinator. I'm the executive of it. I execute these activities to the best of my knowledge, but I didn't know what she wanted to do in memory care. I had no idea what she wanted to do with those people as far as wood burning. She told me she had this thing, but I had no idea what she was talking about, and she didn't train me. So you can't expect me to go do something I don't know what I'm doing. And instead, no, we're not going to do anything in there. She's going to catch it after work, realistically. And I said, Tammy, what am I supposed to do? She said, I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to get a feel for what's going on here. I know it's very rough today. I know there's a lot of pressure. Even the girl in sales, she had a panic attack during lunch. Really, I was like, well, I had mine first thing in the morning. I got mine done for breakfast. Realistically, yeah. And it was a lot. Really, it was a definite shift in energy. And it was really funny because in the middle of it, Kiki's like, hey, what does Saturn retrograde mean? I was like, oh, shit. Well, let me just tell you this. Anytime the planets are going in the other direction, it's never good for us. You just got to know that. They're going the opposite of what we're used to. So just know that. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. I started talking about stuff like that for a quick second, but I didn't have much time to chit-chat with everybody. Really? That's what happened. You think you're doing me dirty, but you're just doing yourself dirty. Really? I mean, I'm at home, bra off, fucking everything, and I'm enjoying myself. Did that work out for you? Really? Really, though. You thought you were going to be mean to me by taking away my bingo? I'm going home. Bye, Felicia. We got the 9 of Pentacles. No, I don't want this. Matter of fact, I don't even want these cards. I spent all that time shuffling them. Let's pull some other cards. I will pull a Morgan card, which is part of the dark. Because I'm clearly in my Morgan, which is a Queen of Swords. It just means I'm not dealing with it. Off with your head. Really? Off with your ego. Off with your mouth. Off with you. Get away from me. And that goes back to it. It's a sad thing to say, but these men have put me in a place where the next man, it's going to take him he's going to have a crowbar to get me open. I'm not opening up again. I'm tired of opening up to fucking lames. And that's what I said to that guy. It's all good. I was excited. I was overly excited on an opportunity to take a risk on you. And I was extremely disappointed how this all played out. But that's all right. I'm always disappointed when it comes to men. It's not something new. Men are just disappointing. Really? How often does a woman disappoint you? Seriously, though. Not too often. Why? Because we try our best. We'll go over and beyond. We'll move mountains to fucking, you know what I mean, fulfill our promises. Really? I'm just saying. And his answer was, I've got a lot going on in my life right now. I thought you were sick. You went from sick to having drama? Does this have to do with a baby mama or a girlfriend or something that you're hiding? Really, keep your secrets to yourself. I don't want to know. And no, I don't want to talk to you about it later. Oh, what had happened was you had no right to even take my number, call me, or even reach out. I never gave him my number. I knew right away when he called me Lisa that he had stole it from the system. And that's a scary thought. Can you imagine checking into places and then there's just some person on the other side, a manager at that, that's taking your number? I said to him nicely, I was like, well, if I don't see you before your birthday, have a nice birthday. He's like, well, that's in August. I was like, well, I don't fucking buy weed that often. So, I probably won't see you, is what I was thinking. I was like, well, maybe sometime we could hang out or something. He took it upon himself to look up my information in the computer, and then he sent me a text. That's why I didn't know it was him. He said, hey, Lisa, this is so-and-so. And I'm like, who is this? And then he tells me, and I realize he took my number out of the system. He doesn't even know my name. You know what I mean? How did he get my number? I didn't give him my number. Really? And that's what pissed me off. You went through fireable links to contact me only to do this? I thought you really liked me because you were willing to get fired to get my number. I really thought he liked me. If you're going to go that far, I should at least hang out with you. You're going to show me that I'm that important. I should at least hang out on you. But then you think, it's like, how many other numbers are you taking out of the computer? You just call any girl that comes to buy weed? And then if I want to dumb you down, what are you? You're just a fucking drug dealer. Really? Shall I dumb you down even more for the other jobs you do and where you live and what your plan is for your life? You tried to build it up, but all you did was, you know what I mean, build yourself a grave fucking with me. You tried to make it sound better than it was. This isn't better. And it doesn't matter the job you do. It's the character you have. You're running around saying I'm this and I'm that and I'm a college student and I'm all these things. Fine, you might be all those things for those people, but when you're talking to a girl, you ain't shit, Nika. Sorry, that was inappropriate. Really? Well, I mean, I'm trying not to say that word. I used to say it all the time. People get offended. Go fuck off. I don't care. I could say it for the rest of my life. It's just me trying to be better. I don't have to stop saying a word. I don't have to stop anything. It's me doing it because I want to be a better person. But anyways, that whole situation, you done fucking pissed me off. You worked so hard to get my attention, and that's some rush shit. That's some rush shit. He will work so fucking hard to get me to look at him, and then I'm looking at him and I'm like, what do you want? And he's picking his fucking nose, scratching his balls. You did all this for what? You just wanted anyone's attention. Could be a Leo. Really? I was upset. You made me feel special. And that's why I did it. Why do you do this with these guys? Hey, bro, if I show you those text messages, you'll see why I do this. They talk a good game, bro. And especially someone that's watching my channel that knows what I want to hear. He was saying all the right things, bro. You could teach me how to be a good father, and I could teach you how to be a good husband, and I could teach you how to open up, care for you like nobody has. These are all the things I want to hear. You're telling me all the things I want to hear. Really? Yeah, you motherfuckers. Oh, God. Really? And that's where it is. It's like, you can't be mad at yourself for believing someone's lies when they worked so hard to lie to you. You're like, that was a good show. You fucking ran game on me, dude. I didn't even know what was happening. I can't even pretend that I knew what was happening. Good job. Good job. Good job at being an extraordinary liar. Good job. And that goes back to Lisa. She's a fucking liar. I watched you my first week lie to a fucking tenant and tell them you were calling their mommy. If you'll lie to the people that work here, then who else are you lying? You probably lie to the people that work here. So when I say that you're not doing it, that you're not doing your job, you're going to turn to me and say that's not true, and that's supposed to be the truth? The truth comes out of a liar? Shut up. Really? And it just kept happening more and more, dude. I'm like doing, everybody's job, and she's just sitting there. No. You take out the trash. I'm the only person that has disinfected anything. That's sickening. That's sickening, bro. And that's probably why I got sick. And that's what I said. I thought I was catching cooties because I was running around disinfecting the workout materials that they're sitting there grabbing. We have weights and we have elastics and we have balls and we have all this stuff. Nobody ever wipes this shit down. Dude, they literally pick their nose and stick their fingers in their diapers and all kinds of shit. And none of you guys wipe this shit down? No, only Lucky. Only Phoenix does it. Really? And that's what they said. And it's like, I can only do that once a week. I have other shit to do. And that goes back to the bingo cards and the chips. I'm the only person that does that. That takes the time to bleach them and then dry them and then sort them. Really? Gross. Really? And so I had a day, to say the least. But I kind of, it was like, it started yesterday with that. And you could see it. It was building up. It's like, ooh, she's about to open her mouth again. Yeah, Mercury's gone direct, motherfuckers. I'm directly in your ass with this mouth. Really? Directly. Spiritual, or current out. Jeez, I was going to say spiritual work at hand. Full of love. That's what I always am. But it's a hard place to be because it's supposed to be unconditional. You give it without conditions. Until you realize you're being taken advantage of. There's a lot of people that want your love, and then there's the same fucking, can I have some more type motherfuckers standing in front of you. that want to take all your love, all your energy, all your creativity, all everything, and keep it for themselves so you have no more to give to anyone else. Get out of my face. There's other people I can love on that will actually love me back, you loveless motherfuckers. Get out of my face. Really? Yeah. The Ace of Love is, or the Ace of Cups is all about the flow of love. Where does it come from? God? And that goes back to the douche. I'm having a lot of difficulties in my life right now. You're in control of your life. Whatever's happening in your life is because you don't have the right mentality. You're not mentally capable of dealing with your life or emotionally. I was you. Really? Yes. And I did a lot of work on myself. Really? If you can't take the time to do it, then get a doctor to do it for you. Really? Seriously, though. As a full time manager, you should be entitled to benefits. Why can't you go spend? And that's even it. That better health is like $15 a fucking session. You can't spend $15 talking to somebody about your problems and maybe hopefully they can help you. Because obviously you can't fix your problems. You're just full of them. What? Nothing. I'm ready to go back to my temple now. There's a difference between being a boss, a bossy person that always wants to, yell at people and tell them what to do. And there's a difference between being a leader, showing people what to do and how to do it. Everybody wants to be somebody's boss. They want a title where they can say that they're important and, wear this name tag that says they're so fucking important. But do you even do what that name tag says? I hear thunder. That's nice. That's beautiful. Make me want to go outside and dance in the rain. Really? Yeah. As far as love, people hold it back. They don't want to give you no love. They don't want to give you no time. They don't want to give you no energy. You know what I mean? Going back to douchebag over there, bro, you saw those messages and you're like, I'm not going to respond. It's not worth my time. She's not worth my energy. I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm not dealing with her. Why'd you even bring me in if you weren't going to deal with me? You get what you give. However you treat me is how you'll be treated in the next round. Really? They're going to treat you the same fucking way, douchebag. It's like, are you completely naive? No, not completely. But I am open. I try to put my negative thoughts aside and just let things happen. Not assume that it's going to turn out bad, not assume this is nothing. I try not to assume. I let things happen. And when they do, then I decide, then I can see whether I was right or wrong. And that's where I sit here, bitch, you was right about this person. You was right about that person. Am I ever wrong about you? All right, occasionally I get these games wrong, but God doesn't want me gambling. So of course he wouldn't do that because that's a way to gamble. Seriously, I haven't got the Super Bowl wrong yet, but I don't know shit about soccer. So how could I have made an executive decision? And why'd you pick Argentina? Because the Spaniards suck. This had to do with nothing with the actual teams and the current time. I was just searching in my head. Well, let's go with Argentina. Something like that. But am I ever wrong about you? Allie, am I wrong about you? Allie wanted to show up today, pop up in the messages, talking about, I'll never love anyone but you. Are you still on that same shit? Like you're still singing the same old tune as last year? You ain't even got a new tune to sing? Which is the reason he doesn't is because he's in the same feelings. What? Shave your legs? No, don't do that. Because anytime you shave skin or shave hair, it grows back thicker and darker. So you have this really long, thick pubic hair on your legs. It is true. Why do you want to shave your legs? Are you going swimming? Talk to your sister Mary Jane before you do something like that. Mary Jane didn't like the hair on her arms, and now she has to spend the rest of her life fucking shaving it because she started once. If you take it off, it'll make it worse. I promise you. That's how men grow beards. They keep shaving until it grows in dark and thick. So if you shave your legs, I promise you, it's only going to grow more and thicker, and you'll have to do it more. Except the little bit of hair you have now, or ask for more, because shaving brings more. It doesn't make it go away. It makes it grow more, and it grows thicker and darker. Look it up. Ask Google. Is it true if I shave, it'll grow thicker and darker? I'm trying to save you from it.
It says no.
No, I promise it does.
It's not true.
Why do you want to shave your legs? Oh, man. Let me pray on that, dude. Because if you're going to do something like that, you need to be taught, and you have to have your own razor. You can't use ours. Razors are very personal. You don't use another person's razor because it's a knife, and it cuts and it gets into blood. Not that we don't have the same blood, but it's just gross. You're not shaving the same places we're shaving. Yeah, you need your own razor if you're going to start shaving your legs. And if you're going to shave your legs, it should probably be a woman's razor, because they shave legs. They cover more space. I'm not against it. I mean, there's a lot of athletes that do it. Like if you were a swimmer or a runner, you would do that, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. We'll talk about it later. Keep doing some research about it. Jesus Christ, that would just be my semi-gay son asking to shave his legs. Why does he want to shave? I don't know. He just sitting there looking at. They're not that hairy. I know what I'm right. I know that if he shaves his legs, it's going to grow thicker and darker. I know that. Everybody knows that. Really? Yes. Sometimes, you know what I mean, cutting something off doesn't really get rid of it. It only makes it come back worse. There's a message that we should all hear. Really? Me and my cutoff game. Really? That kind of made me a little nauseous. That whole thought. Let's get into this. I gave you the whole testimony. This is what God said. Be full of love. All right, God. The Ace of Cups is the beginning of your feelings. In the beginning, you're filled with love until you start digging it out. This card is about pure love. When it appears, it brings an opportunity for deep emotional and spiritual fulfillment. You are surrounded by love, but like water, love is an emotion. And that's it. You only love me when I'm doing everything. She's only nice to me when I'm doing everything. But when I didn't want to do everything, then she became my enemy. And that's what she did. I love you. I love you. She kept saying she loved me because I'm doing everything. Every time I did a huge project, I love you. This is going back to my childhood, bro. I have to earn your love. I have to earn your respect. I have to earn, you know what I mean? That's that Leo shit. You got to overwork for people's attention. I don't care if you recognize me. The people do. What I do care about is that I'm able to deliver the right service to everyone without being pulled too close or too short. I can't give them my time because my time is limited, and I got to run and go give it to someone else. And then I got to run and give it to someone else. I can't give these people the time and energy they deserve because you're not giving any time and energy to anyone. I bet you if you asked her what the names of our residents, she couldn't fully tell you. Why? Because she doesn't interact with them enough. The independent, yeah. The people that are getting off the elevator and saying hi to her in her office, perhaps. Do you know the names of the people in the departments that we do? Mm-mm. On the other hand, a really great thing happened today. Joan and her husband, I told him how thankful I was to be part of Friday. I was like, I don't, forgive the tears. She said, you weren't the only one. There was another gentleman that joined us, and he cried when we got up there. He was crying too. Said it just meant so much to be around God's people. Said my job is to minister to the non-believers, ungodly people, all the time. So far away from God, they don't even know him. I've been away from God's people for so long on this mission all by myself in the dark. And it felt so good to be around God's people. And I thank you for that. I wanted to come and join you for church because it felt so good. But I didn't want the members of your church to to view me as a problem. And I lost my ability. I grew up in the church. I spent over 20 years in that church. I loved it. But when I became an actual missionary in Christ, I wasn't welcome in the church. And that meant I wasn't welcome around the people of God. Or maybe they weren't. But to be part of that meant so much to me. I told him that, and he said, well, let's pray. And he prayed for me. And it meant so much.
prayed for, my strength and for me not to walk alone. That was a good part. That was love. That was a lot of love. And I didn't care that the whole dining room was filled with people and we're holding hands and praying over the table. I didn't care. I don't care what your belief is. I need this prayer. I need this. Something nobody ever does for me. Nobody ever prays for me. Nobody cares about what I'm going through. They think that I'm on top and that I'm here to care about everybody else. True. I am here to care for you. And that was the whole problem is I get resentful when these days come. I hold up the weight of everything, but then on those weak days when I need someone to lean on and I can't lean on you, I'll end up hating you. And that's what happened today. And I told Tammy that. I said, I'm complaining about I have no support to the only person that's supposed to be supporting me. And she tells me to go somewhere else with that. And that was the cry. I've got too much going on. I can't do all this. I need help. No, we'll just cancel. No, you can't help me. You can't help. So that makes me feel bad. No, I can't let this cancel. I got to, if I'm the only one, then I've got to do it. And that's what I told her. I'm walking around here with this truth. It's a truth. If I don't do it, nobody else will do it. And that's what makes me the martyr because there are other people to do it. And she's like, well, you think I'm not doing anything? I said, you're not. I wouldn't be asking for help if you were being helpful. I wouldn't be crying that I don't have any help if you were being helpful. And again, I know she got herself in trouble because when I had this conversation with Tammy, Tammy said, I said it to her and I'll say it again. I don't want the kitchen staff in memory care. So I had that conversation with her before I went to lunch. Afterwards, she sent them in there and kept them in there. She had already told you not to do this and you did it again. And she told me she told you not to do this. She said either you or Phoenix needs to be in there. And since she couldn't shove Phoenix, nobody goes in there. She put a target on her own back today. And now they're watching her. As much as they're watching me, they're watching you now. They're watching you. And that's the sad part is people get away with these poor behaviors until somebody tells on them or until all eyes on you. And you won't do that. That's the difference between integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing always, no matter who's watching you, and especially when nobody's not. But nobody's watching, so I'll just do this. Really? And she was trying to hurt me by taking away that bingo game. She did. That was purposeful. I was like, you want to take away the fun stuff I have and make me do the unfun stuff because you don't want to do it. She said, well, you knew that you were going to help out. And I said, help out, yes. But you're eliminating my schedule to replace someone else's and you're not helping out. And it was the goddamn truth. And now they'll see it. I'm not the only one seeing. Now the eyes are on you. They're going to see what you're doing with your time. They're going to see how you're running this. You're the director of it. Anything that's not working in here is your fault, not mine. I'm not taking the slack for this. Really? No. And that's what happened. But I did get some love. That felt good to me. The two people I was so scared of in that building ended up being the ones that make me feel the best in that building. They prayed for me. They prayed for my peace. They prayed for my ministry. They prayed for people for me. That was so great. You're going to ask God that's what I do over here. And you're going to take your relationship with God and say, God, she needs some help. Send her some help, God. I appreciate it. He's sending everybody. But, that alone, your words, your kind words make it all the much better. Their prayer isn't going to send any more help than God's already sending me, but their prayers brought peace to my heart. And that's what I do on this side. It's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to get God? You want me to get the devils? What do you want me to do for you? I do a lot for everyone else, but as the Queen of Cups, there's no one to turn to when my fucking cup needs replenished. And that's why it's so important that I go back to God. When I'm depleted, He knows how to fix me. He knows how to refill me. Really? No. And that's it too. It's like, I can't. And that's what I told her. I can't. I can't give from an empty cup today. You know what I mean? It's like, shit. And she just made herself look stupid, bro. 1000%. It was building up. I already knew it and I got downloads of it. And she's like, one day when you're a director, you better stop or I'm going to be the director here because you're not doing your job. And then the next part, I asked a question, only person to ask a question during the meeting. I asked them, well, based on the fact that you have over 40 properties, is it safe to say that you're gonna implement the same standard operational procedure that you have running in the rest of your properties? He was so good. Dude, I tore him apart with that question. It was an umbrella question, which meant what? Are you gonna run this business like you run your others? He clarified it only to my department. He said, well, with activities, this is what we're going to do. They're going to bring in all kinds of technology. Really? All kinds of it. We're going to run off of computer systems. No more look at the calendars. It's all going to be in a computer system. It's going to be like, look at the screens. Everything is going to be in the system, which means she needs to learn it as the director and she needs to be able to teach other people. I've still been waiting for her to teach me how to freaking use the theater room, how to turn on the projector. She's been telling me that since the day I got hired, which was on June 16th. We're in July 22nd, and I still haven't learned that. It's like, oh, we'll get to it. When is it important to you? When you have time, but what are you doing with your time? Are you going to stop what you're doing to train us? Hey, bro. And that's where it is. I was glad to do it, but when I got, I started looking at it, and then I became, you know what I mean? I'm not the director. Really? Yeah, I'm not the fucking director. I'm just an employee. I'm a coach. I'm here to execute the activities, not plan them, not do all of that. I'm just here to execute the activities. So it was just a lot. Really? Yeah. I couldn't even talk to her about the Bonnie situation. And she's not nice to Bonnie. She's like, fuck Bonnie. Really? Not really, but she kind of is. So that's why I took Bonnie's side on this. Really, she wasn't playing friendly with Bonnie in Bonnie's situation. She kept trying, she was the force against Bonnie. And I told Bonnie I was going to fight for her because all Bonnie wanted to do is set up this quartet. She has 2 grouped quartets that come in and they perform. Now, the first one was not so good, but it didn't matter. It still brings in people still sit around there and like to listen to the instruments. It's an activity now that was always on the calendar till Lisa came and started fucking it up. And it became a problem. And Lisa kept blaming it on Shabbat. So then it became like, they felt like the Jewish were taking over. I was like, that's not the case at all. She's creating this by not opening up a space for you. Really? And it was very simple. When I got in there, it was simple to put her on the calendar. Every second and third Friday. Really, this isn't hard. Just give her what she wants. No, she didn't want to. Why? I don't know. And that's it. It's like, our job is the people, bro. Why don't you get that? Our job is to make them happy. Not the management, the people. If we make the people happy, management is happy with us. We're not here to kiss the management's ass. We're here to kiss the people's ass. I don't know. Again, I'm dealing with an elderly too. She's 60 years old. How are you going to teach a new dog old tricks? Especially one that thinks that they know it all and that they're in the position of power. You're not supposed to, you know what I mean? You're not supposed to argue with authority. Hey, bro. I'll walk out this door right now and you'll run every one of these classes and they will miss me and they will hate you for this if they know it was yours. And you'll sit there and lie to them because you're a liar. And what will happen? God will bless me like he always does. What will happen to you? Really? Yeah. Just saying that. You must open yourself up to the power of love by forgiving and letting go of past hurts. That's what it was with that dude. Bro, shut up. It's cool. This shit happens to me all the time. You're just another one. I just don't understand why you work so hard to disappoint me. I don't need to understand. I never really need the understanding. I just need to move on. Some understanding makes it easier for me to move on, but I'm moving on either way. Really? Hey, dude, I'm almost 1000% positive you're not going to be the last one to do this to me. Why? Because men are just weak like this. They'll be all fucking, you know what I mean, trimmed up, new fit, everything, and then lose their fucking gonads. Why? Because it was all ego-based anyways. You came at me in the ego and you lost that strength real fast fucking with me. Really? And that's it. If you don't have a good heart, you're never going to face me. Steve's Love Tarot comes out with this stupid fucking thing. I just read it and wanted to throw my phone. Talking about a real soulmate's going to reach out. They're not real. There's nobody real out here. They're not real. A soulmate would be a person that I'm connected to by source of soul. They're soulless motherfuckers. That's not real. That doesn't apply to me. Really? But he's going to tell his tarot community to look out for some soulmate, that 8 of swords or that 8 of fucking wands, that tarot juice. Really? Oh, I got the Lover's card. They're coming for you. Shut up, bro. Quit lying to people. This is a true soulmate. Why? Because you have what? An emperor and an empress? So this is a true match made in heaven? Shut up, bro. Who? You can't have a soul connection with a soulless human being. I'll never have that. The way that people are, they're not souls having human experiences. They're fucking brains trying to experience something spiritual. A true soulmate. Shut up. You're not true. There's so many things wrong with that sentence. A true anything? You're not true. I can ask you one difficult question, whoever you are, and watch you fucking lie. You can't tell the truth because the truth hurts. Ugh. Soulmate. Until you motherfuckers start opening up and waking up, we are not alike. You're not souls. You haven't even attained your higher self. You don't even know what your soul is. And that's because you listen to your brain. You're completely disconnected from your heart. Your heart is your soul. It's a voice you don't know. And I told that to Joan. So Joan, when you said that God spoke to me last week, it made me cry. People call me crazy for that, Joan. But I know the voice of God, and you know the voice of God. They know nothing of God. Nothing. But that's because we're women of God, and with your man who led you. They sit together and they do Bible studies together. They pray together. They worship God together. And as we prayed, help us 3 to show your light and your blessing to those that need it most. Meanwhile, I leave them. I'm going back into the pits of hell, guys. I'll be back tomorrow and go try to spread love to, the demons and the damned. There's no love out here. The love that's out here is the love I have. And if I lose this, then I have no love. The love comes, it flows through me, enough that I have some for myself. A lot for myself. I get to keep some for myself while I'm giving it to everyone else, and nobody's giving me none. And that's why it's so important. Don't give everybody everything you have, because then you're depleted, or at least know where to go and replenish. The power of the Ace of Cups can heal the body, mind, spirit, depending on your connection to the divine and the plentiful flow of life. Whenever the Ace of Cups manifests, it brings love. A new loving relationship. Please don't. I don't want it unless it's real. I'm tired of the fake shit, bro. I'm not even going to develop a relationship with someone to even see if it's real. If you're not real from the beginning, I don't really care. Real recognizes real. I don't want to do this anymore. I'll spend the rest of my life as a priestess with nobody, and that's fine. I got 2 kids that are growing up, dude. I got high schoolers. I'm fine with this. I don't need to have the experience of having a baby and a man if it's not good. I don't need that. I'm not dying for that. I'm not like, oh, I'm in my 30s and it's time to have a baby. Or like this guy. Oh, I'm in my 30s. It's time for me to settle down. What did you say? Go find you a young girl to start a family with. And of course, it has to be a young girl, because a woman your age ain't dealing with this, or any older. We're not dealing with this shit. You got to go manipulate some young girl, get her pregnant, ruin her life, make her dependent off of you. An existing partnership might move to a new level of sharing. Don't worry, just keep it to yourself. I don't care. You guys just try to get my attention by opening up some bullshit. But really, it's just bullshit. You're just saying what you know will tickle my ear. I'm not listening. There could be celebrations for marriage, engagement, pregnancy, birth, or you could find work that fulfills you on many levels. I really like this, but I can't do everything. And that's the truth. I can't be responsible for all departments, bro. And they said it yesterday. She said it. And that's where it triggered. It takes a while for it to sink in what you just said, bro. It takes a while, bro. It takes a while. I'll give it that. She said yesterday they don't have no intentions on hiring a new staff, which is crazy. They think that, the three of us is enough. My job is to sit here and do these calendars. So she said it right there. This is my job. My job is supposed to be in the office. I'm not supposed to be doing these classes. Well, they think that we're enough. They think that you're doing the classes. I'm not enough. I'm not enough by myself. She didn't want to hear that. She didn't want to hear that I feel overworked. She didn't want to hear that I feel like you're not helping me. She didn't want to hear any of that. And nobody ever wants to hear where their shortcomings are. They want to blame you and act like you're, you know what I mean? You're blowing things out of proportion. Fuck, I am. And that's where people don't validate your feelings because they don't matter to them. All they care about is their own feelings. And that's it. As soon as I started talking, she became defensive, which means she had to defend herself against me. She wasn't open to what I was saying. She wanted to defend it. She was never going to accept it. She was going to fight whatever I was saying. Most of you do that. Reverse, Ace of Cups indicates emotional disappointment and sadness. This could be a relationship breakup, infertility, miscarriage, or depression. This has made you close your soul to the flow of life. I know not to do that. I might close myself off to people, but I don't close myself off entirely. I've learned how to keep this gate open. Really? Yes, we just redirect the flow. Really? You can't. If you shut it off, you're going to sour. Really? Yeah, you have to keep the water flowing. There's fish in there. If you don't keep it flowing, you're just going to be fishy. All right, leaving you feeling empty and unloved. Not really. I just felt like it was a waste of time. I just can't understand why you would work so hard to waste my time. That doesn't make sense to me. Leave me alone. Let me just stay on in my own life. It's like a kid that's playing with their toys, and you want to go bug them. They're happy. Leave them alone. They're not broken. Don't try to fix it. Leave them alone. And that's what it is. You didn't want me. You wanted me to want you. Like you wanted attention. Whatever you wanted it for yourself. Ugh. Anyways, remember that the grail is always present, always available, and you can choose whether or not to accept or reject it. That's it. I'm pretty rejecting. And that's the thing. Why did I give you time and not the guy at work who's actually, I see regularly, that has the time to talk to me? Why did I give you I didn't even give you my number. I gave the other guy my channel, but I didn't even give you my number. You stole it. I didn't open this door. You pushed it open. And you know what you said in those messages, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you? Were you high? Like, did you get drunk after work and start sending that? Like, where were you mentally? And I know you woke up the next day and saw those messages and were embarrassed. I was looking at them like, damn. Really? Well, I got what I usually give. I was like, damn, this is the type of shit you be looking all crazy in the messages with. Really, though? And despite it being triggering and scary, I was like, well, this is how they feel. I got to at least be braver than the bitches I normally deal with. Really? I shaved my legs and dyed my hair. Really? I've sat there and I've considered. I was like, should I shave my pussy? Am I going to let this guy near my pussy? That's the kind of thoughts I was considering. Meanwhile, you're over there. I'm never talking to her again. You fucking cunt ass. Really? Fucking cunt ass. Those are the kind of questions I'm asking. Does it matter what kind of underwear I wear? Am I going to let him near me? Stuff like that. And that was me trying to open up to the idea. What a waste.
Really? I mean, shit. Moving on. You can choose to accept or reject it. And that's it. I usually reject a lot of people. And then I accept the, you know what I mean? I reject a lot of good people only to accept the one I don't want to deal with. Jeez, there's memes about that. What's my spiritual work in hand? Of course it is. 8 broken cups. I don't know what is that. What does this mean? Taking a journey. And it's basically the isolation card. Really? 8 of cups, 6 or excuse me, the 8 of cups, the moon, the high priestess, the fucking 4 of swords. All of those are talking about non-movement, sit with your feelings and process them type shit. All right, I went to the 7, full of liars. 8 of cups. Deep down, you have changed and become dissatisfied with your life. Some soul searching has revealed you need to discover a deeper meaning. You find yourself and become the person you want to be. This may be leaving behind material security and relationships. Something told me to go find that video. I gotta find that video that Wolfman said that. I'm gonna need it in my documentary. Really, it's gonna be part of the intro. Really? Uh-huh. He came out in a Sagittarius video. It's months ago. It's gonna take me a while to find this motherfucker. And he's like, if you want to leave all your material belongings and go praise God on the top of a mountain in scraps, then albeit. But I believe, as he's poking at his head, that you have to have an ego to be successful. Really? I'm going to put that in my intro to my documentary. Really? Oh, you're famous, motherfucker. And I like how you changed your YouTube. You changed the title of your YouTube saying that you're there to help people uncover their unconscious patterns. Bro, you are an unconscious pattern. Really? While you're flapping the fucking butt cheeks of some ugly little girl with boobs. Shut up. You are a walking pattern. Really? Well, it's that day again. You're going to be pushing out 2 more of your readings. You're going to be pushing out the same shit you're always pushing out. There's nothing to you, Oscar the Tarot Reader. Nothing. Unless somebody wants a bite of your dick, there's nothing really you got to offer a bitch. Really? What do you have? You're going to give a girl a good time? Where? Outside of the bedroom. And can you even manage the bedroom? If we're not built like these little dunks, then we're not going to get dunked. Really? I mean, I bet your dick looks pretty long going into a wide canal like that. God, what a loser. Anyways, I need to find that video. It was very important that he said that. Really? Because there's those of us that will power. Those of the fire that will. What is this? Stupid fucking Aries. First time having a life. Get a real life. Really, I don't care. You're gonna be in the fucking birth and rebirth fucking cycle, in the wash cycle for God knows how many eternities. Really, it's been an eternity for me. This is the last time I'm being reborn in this bullshit. This may mean leaving material security behind, an old relationship, things that you previously desired but which no longer brings fulfillment. And that's it. If I didn't care about those people, I'd have quit that job right then over a stupid argument. You think I need this in my life? I need this? You need me, bro. You don't understand how this works. I do. All I need is God. You don't understand that, and I don't have to go looking. I got him all the time. That's my biggest flex, is knowing who the fuck I am and my worth. You guys are trying to establish worth, trying to figure out who you are. And who you are is based on how many people like you. And if they don't like you, you're going to change that part of you. Shut up. Get away from me. Can't stand y'all. Seriously? Yes. This is a journey into the unknown, and it will take great courage. And that's what I said to everyone, real loud. Hey, if you're gonna quit, now's the time. Now's the time before they switch us into the new system. Now is the time to quit. So, really? Like a hermit, this card can also mean withdrawing from outer activity to seek greater self-awareness within. That's it. I'm not doing anything, so I can just sit with my feelings, and and it's just basically that. I don't need to. I was trying to explain to you where they were coming from, but you didn't want to hear them. You didn't want to hear that I didn't feel good about my job and what was contributing to it. It's not important to you. Which is basically saying I'm not important to you because my feelings are me.
and now I feel isn't important to you, as long as I get the job done, then this isn't a place for me. I thought this was a place of caring, of kindness, of consideration, of understanding, of integrity. I thought this was a place where we treated people with respect and we honored how they felt and what they, what they say. Oh, that's just the motto, right? That's not really the truth. Yeah, that's just what we put on the paperwork. That's not really how we operate. Interesting. Like the Hermit, this card also means withdrawing from outer activity. That's what I forgot, is the Hermit card. Really? Reverse meaning. You're refusing to walk away from a situation or a relationship that is not working. Watch me. In your heart, you know you need to act, but while part of you wants to explore new horizons, another part of you is afraid of doing so because of what you might lose or what other people might say. It is time to face the truth. You are not happy or fulfilled, and you are suffering. You need to develop some attention to your own needs, your own dreams, and your own happiness. Not in a frivolous way, or a superficial manner, but on a deep spiritual level, which means you need to take care of yourself. Stop taking care of anything else and start taking care of yourself now. Stop doing anything else and start taking care of yourself. If you don't find happiness within you, you're never going to find it outside of you. And you need to work through what's inside of you, and that's this walkway into the inside, your internal side. Is find out what's in there that's making you unhappy. I know what this is. I can see it. And that's why I said, you're not looking back at everything I've done. I'm looking at the schedule of everything you want me to do, but you're not looking back at this. You're assuming that I'm going to be able to keep this up. And again, there's no reason that the director of operations needs to come in and serve ice cream because the director of activities won't. There's no reason for that. If I'm running a business and all my employees quit on me because I'm a shit-ass business runner, it's my job to run this business. It's my job to come in and fill in when they're not there. And that's where, I don't know if you've ever been to it, but like late nights, you can go to Taco Bell, there's one person in there. They're taking the orders, they're cooking the food, they're making the food, they're taking the money. There is one person in there doing 3 people's jobs. And you're mad and drunk in the drive-thru because you're not getting your taco fast enough. You're going to get explosive diarrhea fucking around like that. Realistically, no, it's the truth. And that's what they'll do. They'll understaff and expect one person to do the job of 3. That's not how businesses are run properly. That's how they're run into the ground. That's how you run away good employees, is you burn them out. You overuse your good employees. You abuse good employees because you hire shit ones that don't work hard. You want your good employees to pick up the weight of everyone else that doesn't work hard. I told Tammy during my interview that this was a problem for me, that I've always had this problem in the workplace of going above and beyond and covering for everyone else that won't pull their weight. And here we are. Why didn't Lisa show up for bingo when I was in the hospital? I was in the hospital. Why didn't she come to work? If I was the director, I'd be there. And no class is too good for me. Because in order to get that position, you had to already do the classes to earn that position. It shouldn't be hard, and that's it. It's like, she thinks just because she's the director, she doesn't have to do this anymore. I don't know what she thinks. I'm just telling you what I'm experiencing. Well, I can have Phoenix do it. We'll have Phoenix do it. We'll have Phoenix do it. And that's what people do to me. And it's my own fault for being too available and being too willing with a smile on my face to say, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Why? Because I like to be called upon. I like to be needed. I like to be important. It's called being a martyr. And I'm guilty of it. As much as I don't have pride, it comes through there. I found a way to feed my pride by overworking my body. That makes me feel powerful. Look at what I did, and nobody helped me. Until I've done too much and nobody will help me going forward. And now it's my fault because I acted like I could do this forever. And that's what I told both of them. I can't do this forever. Said you know what I mean? I took on more than I could. And I got her, bro. I got her good. Do you know how stupid she looked? I said, Lisa, tell me what we have planned for today. Tell me what's on the schedule today. Do you know anything that's on the schedule today? Any of the things that we have going on today? I'd have to look. She has no idea what the schedule today looks like because she's not hands-on. She doesn't need to know because she's not going to be part of any of it. Terrell, when he saw me doing it, every day I would write down my schedule for the day. He's like, that's pretty cool. I'm going to get me one of those, which was what? A planner. He went and bought one so that he could plan too for his schedule. Really? Mm-hmm. And, that's all. Really? Yeah. And, let me get a wild hair off my ass. I'll quit this job. I quit anybody, anything, anytime. Why? Because I believe in better. And that's why people are scared around me. She'll walk out on me. She'll leave me. Because you can't and that goes back to Bobby. I can't be the man you need. No, you can't. You can't even be a man. You think being a man is going to work and bringing home a paycheck. Bitch, I do that regularly. Am I the man of the house? Seriously? I mean, I think my balls is bigger than yours. I know I could fuck better. And who knows? I probably am bringing home more money than you are. Really? If I'm not, I could. And that's what it is. You don't even know what it takes to be a man. Because you have this perception of what your parents told you is a good man. But yet you're out here being that man and you're like so far from being good. That's not what Jesus said. That's not what God said. Really? And that goes back to these women. You think you're a good woman? You think you're a good catch? You're wifey material? You're a woman that a man wants to, come home to and have a family with? Why? Because you have fake eyelashes, big tits, and a wide pussy? Shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. They want more than that, bitch. They want more than that, bitch. Maybe they don't, bitch. Maybe they don't. But just know that if that's all they want, they can find that anywhere. Your boobs are going to deflate after a while. I promise you that. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to get them lifted. And they're going to sag twice as hard with that fucking saline in there. Oh, you wait, bitches. You wait. You wait. That fucking wide pussy is going to fucking be sitting on the floor. Really? Promise you. And then let's not talk about how weird your fake butts look every time you sit down. It doesn't really look good while you stand up, to be honest. And then that goes to what? A man with an obsession with butts? Are we talking about a gay man? That goes back to seeing fucking Kim Kardashian. The fuck does that cunt have? She's an idiot. With a loose vagina, a store-bought butt that has been poked by every black man before Lewis, fake eyelashes, fake hair, everything. And you wonder why she can't get a man. Because she has nothing to offer a man. Really? But, for a bitch like Lewis, he's just looking for some girl, a girl's night out. He found the perfect girl to hang with him. Real women aren't accepting that. The only person that's going to accept a weak man like that is a material girl. She sees what he has, not what he is. I see what you are. And none of what you have takes away what you are. Doesn't make you better. I said that in my post. Money has no currency when it comes to character. All that money in your pocket, whatever you're worth, Russ, however many millions of dollars, it does nothing for you in a conversation. And to be honest, it does nothing for your appearance. All that money and you walk around like a washed up rapper, like a teenage fucking joke. Pirate of the Caribbean? Seriously? Money can't buy you happiness. Really? It could buy you pussy. It could buy you a lot of things. You could buy yourself a girlfriend, but you're not buying happiness with that money. Nope. No. Reverse, you are refusing to walk away from a relationship that's not working. In your heart, you know you need to act, but while you want to explore new horizons, part of you is afraid to do so. It's time to face the truth. You're not happy or fulfilled, and you are suffering. You need to take care of yourself. Really? Yeah. Outcome, please. Thank you. What happens? A new journey. Whatever this is going to pass. This too shall pass. And new doors are opening tomorrow for me. You thought you were going to close a door on me. You closed a door on yourself. God opens the doors that you thought you closed. He opens all doors. And as the gatekeeper that holds the keys, you're not holding me back. You're holding yourself back. And that's the next thing I posted. You guys are holding yourself back from a life. You're not going to get in my life and hold me back. The wanderer in my deck is the fool. It's the beginning of the journey, taking a leap of faith. I'll quit my job, bro, over some shit like this, and I'll be fine. And I'll believe so hard that God's got me that I land completely in feathers. I'll walk up to HR tomorrow and ask them, how does it look about, how do you do internal transfers? Is there a possibility to work at one of your other locations? Really? They are open. They're purchasing another one in North Denver. I don't know where that is. And I was going to ask that question, but I was setting up for bingo. I can sure ask that question tomorrow. Realistically? Mm-hmm. But, that's just kind of how that works. And I don't have a problem with that. I have no problem walking away from you because I know that if I have to walk away, there's something better. I don't walk away from things that are important to me. I fight for them. And that should tell you right there. Why didn't you fight for me? Because you weren't important. You lost importance. Or maybe you were self-imposed importance. And that's where it comes to a lot of these guys. They really hate that I don't fucking need them. They want me to be dependent. They need dependence to make them feel important. You can't feel powerful with a woman that's powerful. I don't know what's wrong with you, and that's your insecurities. For real, you're trying to get attention, and all attention is given to me. This isn't going to be a good relationship. You're just going to be jealous all the time. Last thing I need is a jealous lover. Trying to be what I am. You're competing with me, your woman. You're supposed to be on my side, not competing. And then I'm seeing Russ and his girlfriend always dropping songs against each other. Really? And that's what's funny. You guys are going to make a song together and it's going to be garbage. Nobody's even going to care for it. And it'll show that both of you are garbage. Really? Having Russ produce her music is not going to help anybody else listen. Because most people don't even want to listen to Russ. Really? Do you listen to that garbage? Woulda, shoulda, coulda. All right, you may have been feeling as though everything familiar has lost its color and meaning. It happened. And as much as it happened to me, when she came to me in the middle of the day, she's like, dude, I just totally had a panic attack during lunch. And that's after I told her about my fucking breakdown at breakfast. Really? What's for dinner? Dude, I'm so fucking respectful. I made pork steaks last night and I had a lot of left over. So I took it for lunch today. And because the new owners were there, I decided not to leave the building. I made these decisions before I got into an argument with her. I brought my lunch and I was like, I'll just have lunch at work today for the first time ever. There's a huge amount of Ethiopian women that work with us. And I don't know if they're against pork, but I know that certain religions are. And there was something about me that was like, I'm not going to sit and heat up my food and eat pork around these people. Out of respect. It was just pure respect. Really? That's how respectful I am. I'm trying to respect your religion, to respect that. You know what I mean? And that's it too. It's like eating a fish sandwich in somebody's office or something with onions. That's kind of rude. That's kind of gross. And that's where I had to think about this. And I asked, Terrell, and I mentioned it. I didn't ask her. I'm not asking you if I can eat in here. You eat in here all the time and leave your fucking chicken mess all the time. Really? She's always eating in that damn office. Never see her in no fucking employee break room. So anyways, I decided to take my meal and go sit by myself in my office and eat by myself. But that's the kind of respect I have. Really? I know this goes against your religion, so I'm going to take this out of the room. I don't want to ruin your appetite. Really? I was just being respectful. I made amazing pork steaks last night. Really? They were amazing. And then my son sends me, I should show you the text message. He's like, can we start buying more meat? Like pork chops? I was like, that's what we just had. I said, no. I said, we had pork steaks. A chop is just a different cut. He's like, oh, okay. Well, can we buy more meat? Yeah, for sure. I guess. It was so weird because it wasn't in the typical shape. He thought we were having like real steak. I wouldn't have cooked it like that if that was the case. Really? No. Anyways, moving on. It's lost its color and meaning, leaving you restless, discontented, or even ill. You have an overwhelming conviction that you need to seek out exciting new horizons in order for you to become more fulfilled and truly alive. This is a call from the universe. Ready or not, powerful forces are at work in your life with a period of chaos, painfully breaking down what's happening. That's it. Where did this come from? The universe. This was not going to work. They were not, and that's where it happened. She came up to me as soon as I went looking for it. This is how the explosion happened. I'm looking at my schedule and I'm double booked, not only till 11, but I'm a double booked at 1:30. I walk up to her to ask her for help with that. And she says, I was looking for you. Tammy wants you to spend the day in memory care and I'll do the bingo. I said, no, that's not happening. And that's when I sat down. That's when the argument came. And I told her, I said, no, you want me to go over there so that you guys can appear to have this under control. You want me to sit there and make it look like it's better than it is. You don't want nobody to know that nobody's sitting there and nobody's doing anything with them. So you want to take away my day and my plans to go do Helen's job when Helen's gone. She's like, well, you said you were, I did say I would help out, but we made a very strong conversation and I was given a hug and a handshake saying that I would not be placed in there like that. Right? So we had this conversation first thing in the morning. She was trying to send me in there and make it so if anybody looked, there's a coach or a person running things, but there's not, because you're not in there and you're trying to take me off my schedule to be in there. And that's why she took away my bingo. She did it on purpose. She knew that that was something I like to do. And she's like, I'm going to do it. Okay. She thought she was going to hurt me by sending me home. She hurt herself. Really? Yeah. I'm not hurting for money. I never am. I'm not dependent off money. You are. Get your money while you're bullshitting. Really? So that's what the universe is doing. Really? They knew that I was getting taken advantage of and they made me stand up for myself. They knew that she was overworking me and she wasn't doing her job. And they made me stand up for myself. And I wish I wouldn't have, but at the same time, if I don't stand up for me, who is? She's going to keep telling me to do shit jobs that she don't want to do herself. That's not a leader. That's not even a manager. That's an incompetent worker. This is a call from the universe. Ready or not, powerful forces are at work at your life for a period of chaos. It's Wednesday, right? We have a small tower on Wednesday, only to have a big one on Friday. Painfully breaking down the old order so that a new one can emerge. We're not going to keep this up. No, I'm not going to be the house bitch. I'm doing too much and you're not doing anything. And that's basically what I said. And she got really pissed off. How dare me say she's not doing enough? She didn't bother to hear why I felt that way. She just wanted to defend, saying that she does it all. No, it was shown today. You didn't do shit. You didn't run one class today. You made myself, you made Terrell, you made the kitchen staff run your classes. The Fool is a totally free spirit, open and spontaneous, which is something you have lost. He asks you to take a leap of faith without worrying what other people will think. All the great innovators and visionaries of this world have been called fools by the less daring. Courage, risk-taking, and creative expression are needed to renew your life. Reverse meaning. The Fool reverse suggests that you're acting selfish, immature fool with no regard for the consequences of your actions. Look where you're going or you will trip up. Depending on the surrounding cards, someone may be trying to take advantage of you. And if you're offered an opportunity that seems too good to be true, it is. tell you whatever they need to hear. They think that you will hear to get you in the door, to make that sale, to get your name, to get you, you know what I mean, hooked on their product. They'll tell you whatever you need to hear. And that's what the lady in the sales department, we've been through this. Nobody else does. We knew what was happening. When this new company comes in with the new, out with the old. But the new company is going to reassure you that we're going to keep things the way they are. That's not true. And that's why I asked him that question. But they limited it. They were smart. That was smart, bro. He limited it to just my department. And nobody else had the fucking nerve to ask any questions. You guys have no questions for the new owners? That means you don't care about new ownership. There's nothing you want to ask these people about them coming in? Or you're too timid. You don't want to be the person to speak. You don't want to ruffle feathers. You just would rather not know. I want to know. Really? I wasn't afraid. I was the only person that walked in, shook their hand, introduced myself. Then when they asked a question, I stood up and introduced myself. Hi, my name is Phoenix. I'm part of activities. Let me tell you who I am and why I'm asking questions. Out of all that, all the employees, I was the only employee to introduce myself and ask a question. When they leave, all of them go home to Dallas. Who do you think they're going to remember? Exactly. And that's it. They're taking advantage of me. You don't realize it until it's too late, and they've already been doing it for a long time. And then when you try to change it, you know what I mean? And that's what I said. I did this to myself. I'm fully aware. I made myself this available. I was more than willing, and I kept a smile on my face. But I can't keep this up. And I shouldn't have to. Yeah, it's just confirmation. I told you I ain't making up shit. I just rolled through the shit. Really? Let me get in my monster truck and run through this bullshit. You're going to be asked to do what I do one day, and you're going to be very scared, just like me. But you're going to be honoring yourself in ways that you never did before when you finally stand up for yourself. Yeah, you don't want to start a fight, and you don't want people to turn against you. But if they fight and they turn against you, then they were never for you to begin with. And that's the whole point, that you need to stand up for you, because people are taking advantage of you. And it's funny when you start to tell them that they are, how they defense and try to make it your fault and try to minimize your feelings and act like you're not, you know what I mean, that you're overreacting. They don't take this serious until you make it serious. Your feelings are only important when you make them important to other people. Otherwise, nobody gives a shit about your feelings. And even then, you'll be trying to, get your point across to someone and they don't give a shit. And yet you're ready to scream and cry because they don't want to listen. They're not listening to you. Are you fucking listening to me? No, they're not. They don't care about you. They just care that the job is done. They don't care who they got to step on to get it done. If you won't do it, I'll call someone else. Go ahead then. If I'm not replaceable, go ahead, find someone else. You ain't never going to find someone like me. So you should respect me. Really? You should respect me. You should treat me kindly. Because there's not going to be someone else that comes in this door. There's not another Phoenix in this entire world. You are never going to find another person like me. Because there's not. He didn't make them. One and done. He knew he fucked up the way he made me. So he never made another one like me. He put pieces of me into people because he thought there were certain parts of me that was extreme, that needed to be shared. But he could never make someone like me again. One of his first creations. You kind of blamed him. I was like, you didn't have much experience, did you? Look at what you did with me. No, I'm very special. One of a kind. Really? As I'm saying this, he's showing me, he said, no two leaves are ever the same. Good point. We can all come from the same tree, but we're not the same. No two zebras are the same. They all look alike, white with black stripes, or black with white stripes, but they're not. Doesn't matter. They're not the same. What sets us apart is the way we think and the way we feel. Unless you just think like everyone else and you go with everyone else's feelings, then there's nothing authentic about you whatsoever. You're a what's that word? What's that word? A carbon copy. That's what that is. Yeah. It was unexpected. But as I'm sitting there and I'm fighting for myself and nobody wants to hear it, I know what I'm fighting for. There's an inner part of me, my inner child, my inner warrior. There's a part of me that's burnt. I can't do this no more, and I'm not going to be expected to. I need you to step it up. How dare you? All right, whatever. That's what I was met with. But now that's it. When you go and you ask for help, help is on the way. We'll see. Let Tammy see what I'm complaining about now. And that's it. If you don't tell somebody there's a problem, they don't know there's a problem. And I tried to go to her about the problem so we could resolve it between the two of us. Instead, she took the problem to Tammy. All right, well, then I guess you're part of our problem and you're going to be the mediator between this problem and you're going to resolve the problem for us since we can't figure it out on our own. It's very childish, I think, realistically, considering the all things. That's where it is. And as much as I say that, you know what I mean? I can see with certainty, I can see 4 employees they're going to get rid of. For sure. For sure? Oh, yeah. Because when they start coming in this company within a week's time and they start changing, are you going to be with the change? I'm not doing it their way. I'm not going to do it their way. I'm not doing it the new way. Why do we got to make us do everything their way? Because it's their way or the highway. Really? And that's where we'll see. How many of you are adaptable? How many of you old dogs can be taught new tricks? Because they're coming in with them. For sure. They didn't even ask questions like, are you going to change or is there going to be a change in uniform? The cool change was there's a change in pay. We typically get paid on the 15th and the 30th. They're going to be bi-weekly, which means we'll get more paychecks. There's 2 months out of every year where there's 5 weeks in the month, and you should get 3 paychecks in that month. November's one of them. I think June is the other one. You'll have to look it up. But those kind of things are important. Realistically, yeah, it was really funny too. They hit them hard. So everybody that has PTO, because it's going from one hand to the other, they're just getting cashed out. So everybody's going to get a big fat check at this next check, but then they're starting at 0. What does that mean? There went all your vacation time, people. Nobody's going on vacation for a little while. Really? Nope, they're cashing it all out. So a lot of people are going to get really big fat checks for all their paid time off that they've been holding on to that they haven't used. But they're all going to start at 0. Really? They're going to have to build all that up again. That means you don't have any paid time off. You don't have any vacation days stacked up. You're going to have to start from 0 like the rest of us. Really? It's kind of funny. And that's what it is that's what that card says. Out with the old, in with the new. People think that new people are going to just keep your old ways. Your new partner is going to deal with your old behaviors. The fuck we aren't. The fuck I'm not. Really? No. And that's it, because you're too old in your ways to change. Can't teach you how to be better. You're just going to be the same lover. This is how I fuck. You never even tried to fuck a different way? Like, you never even tried to be like off the edge of the bed or somewhere else? You never even tried something new? And that's the truth. You're too afraid. What if I don't like it? What the fuck if you do? Seriously, though. And that goes back to anything. You're too afraid of change. And we're in a place of change. It's happening. The world is changing right before your eyes. And everybody's having a hard time with this because they want to hold on to the old structures of the way things were, instead of accepting this change and going with the new way of life. You don't know the new way, so you don't want nothing to do with it. You don't want to learn something new. You just want it to be old and repetitive and boring and predictable. You want things to be the way they are. Why? Nobody's happy. Unless you're that single person that is loving life the way things are. Of course, you're fighting. You're fighting to the end to keep your happiness. But your happiness is costing everybody else's. All the rest of us go unhappy for 1 or 2 people? No. God promised this wasn't going to happen for much longer. And you sit there and you're so in disbelief that this has happened to you. You can't understand why change came to your life. Really? You've been living the same way for 25 years and you're surprised that something changed? How could this happen? And when it does, you reject change and you try to rebuild what has just been destroyed. You go back to the same lover, the same job, the same neighborhood, the same problems, the same restaurant. You got all kinds of money and you're going to go to the same place all the time. Well, I know what I like. You're going to order the same plate you always eat because you're too afraid to try something new. What if you don't like it? Okay, then you send it back to the kitchen and say, I don't like this, and order something else. You could get away with that a couple times. Really? No, I've been a manager and a server. Send it back. Can I get you something else? We'll take that off of the, you know what I mean? If you fuck up my steak, it's going back and I'm getting a free steak. That's guaranteed, bro. And I could have done it to Applebee's, but I didn't want to be a bitch. I said medium rare. You brought me a well-done steak. I can send this back, and now I'm not going to pay for it because you ruined my meal. You're supposed to comp this because you didn't properly deliver the service. Really? Happens all the time. For those that don't know. Don't take what you're given when it's not what you wanted. It doesn't mean you have to pick a fight with the server, because I promise you the server has nothing to do with it. They're just picking up the plates. It's the idiot on the other side that's not reading the screen. It could be a language barrier or just the fact that they're not paying attention to your order. Really? Seriously. So you don't take what's given to you. You don't take it. You don't take a slap on the face and ask for more. You'll take it, but you make sure nobody else slaps your fucking face. And that's what this is about, being the free spirit, being the fool, or being the phoenix. The phoenix is the fool evolved. I'm ready to do this, but with more wisdom. Less fear, more wisdom. That's what that means, is taking those jumps. That dude asked a lot for me to, you know what I mean? I went through a lot to take this jump, to be ready to meet you the next day. It took a lot on my side, and I was willing to, I did everything to make that happen. For what? What a waste. Really, in the end, I'm glad, because all those fights I had in my head about meeting you are already done for the next person that wants to meet up. I've already had these battles. I don't have to rebattle this. I've already gone through this. Really? I already gone through a dick pic. I got my first dick pic. I already went through that before. It didn't come from this guy. I'm not asking guys for their dicks, for pictures. I do ask them if they're overset though, because I don't want that. I do ask them that. Really? You're not like super hung, right? Because I have fears of penetration. No, I'm not. Good. Really? But if you lie to me and you pull out this enormous dick, you're going to have a problem. Really? Don't be lying to me just so you can get me to touch it, because I'm probably not going to if it's that big. Really? No. Just touch it. No, I don't want to. I have fears. It won't hurt. You don't know that. You're just telling me that. And if it does, you're not going to stop. True story. Sorry, I have a tight vagina. That's not happening. Go find a loosey-goosey. I can take all 4 inches of it. Is it 4 inches wide or 4 inches long? I don't know. Not my problem. Really? None of it is. So that's it. It really happened. And if you go back to this, it's love for myself. I walked in there and I stood up for myself. Not today. Not today. You're not going to do this to me today, and probably not the rest of the week or anymore. And I told her that. You know you have a problem in memory care and you've done nothing to solve the problem. If they're not going to hire new people, then that means us people have to solve the problem. And if you're not going to be active in memory care and the assistant or the coach that's in memory care isn't active, they're probably going to get rid of you too. And then when they do, guess who they're going to ask to go in there? Me. Really? I came out of doing an activity with them yesterday. We were doing some cup stacking, and I seen Terrell sitting on the couch with them, just chilling. I was like, hey, Terrell, the staff said, don't sit on that couch. He said, why? I said, I don't want to know, bro. It's sanitary reasons. They fall asleep there, and they all share that couch, bro. People fall asleep there, and they all share that couch. Don't. I was like, one day I was doing my workout. Betty was sitting right there, and she just started taking her shirt off right next to Phil. She said, really? I said, I don't know what else they're taking off or what they're doing in the couch. Don't sit on their chairs. What was he doing? Just hanging out like we're supposed to. We're supposed to keep them company. We're supposed to integrate and interact with them, have conversations, anything. Anything. She don't want to do any of that, bro. Really? Why don't you? I'm a little uncomfortable. I don't know what I'm doing. And that's where it is. If I had more training, somebody showed me how to do this, I might not be so skeptical about it. I'm making friends in there. I know most of the names. I want to know why Thea lets me call her Thelma. Really? I've been doing it. And that's what I told Lisa. I was like, dude, I've been calling Thea Thelma. She's like, I call her Thelma. That's not her name. But she answers to it, doesn't she? She said she does. I was like, yep, that's not her name. Really? She answers to it all the time. Really? That's it. It's like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to take out the trash, so we'll make the boy take out the trash. We'll make the girl. We'll make someone else do the job I don't want to do. That's not fair. Really? If this person always has to do the shit job. And that's what I told to Terrell. I was like, Terrell, when I saw that closet, I knew I would need hands, and I thought about you, and I knew that wasn't right. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, no, there's something wrong with us that, you know what I mean? We believe that, you know, the masculine force is used for heavy lifting. He's like, but we can. I was like, I know, but it's not a nice expectation to put on it. It's like, I can't ask my 60-year-old boss to help me carry these trees, so let's go find a man. That's not fair to the man. What if he's weak? Really? How come I gotta be the man? Why do I always gotta carry the heavy stuff? Why do I always gotta kill the spiders? Why do I always gotta take out the trash? Why do I always have to freaking, you know, mow the lawn? You say those are man's jobs, and that's what they're supposed to do, but they didn't want to do that. You just gave them their job. Really? Yeah. I can carry it. I just need help. And at that moment, who am I going to ask for help? I can't ask my boss. And that's where I was today. I couldn't ask her for help. And that pissed me off. You're supposed to be able to ask for help. Really? And it does happen in relationships. I told you that's what happened with my ex-husband. I'd hold it all together, but I was human. Maybe I got a period. Who knows? But there would be times where I needed him to fucking man up and take, you know, can you take care of the kids? Can you just let me rest? Can you hold the house? Can you take care of everything so I can rest or so I can catch up? Nah, bro, you can't depend on him for shit. Really? Oh, God, what a useless individual. I don't think you ever will. How old is he now? I think he's like 35 now. I don't know. He's like 9 years younger than me. I'm 43. So, yeah, he's got to be 35. It's like, what a loser. Nobody will ever be able to depend on you because you can't even depend on yourself. Really? Psych meds and all that. He's twice as psycho as all the rest of us. I assure you of that. But it became resentful. It's like, you know, I have a that's a mean word to say it. Incapacitated dependent. You know what I mean? That I have to care for all the time, and I get bitter about it. I wanted a husband, a partner, a friend. I got a child, a man-child, full of problems that I have to retrain. I have to grow up. I have to teach him what his mom didn't and his father didn't. I have to grow this man-child. I don't want a man-child. And yet, when I go out looking for men, they're all children. Are you ever going to take the lead? Are you ever going to, you know, women are supposed to be submissive to what? You're giving in to the child? Throwing a fit? You're not giving in to a man, a leader, a protector, a provider. Shit. You're not giving into something good. You're giving into some bullshit. Really? The Ace of Cups is about love for myself. That's what happened today. I loved myself enough to stop this. And I put my foot down real hard. It stops. And if you don't stop it, I'm going to stop it. This stops today. You're either going to help or you're going to do it all. Period. You will not keep doing this to me. You think that I'm desperate, but I'm not. I'm not desperate for shit, bro. People just, they think they got you in a corner and that you need them and you'll never leave and you'll do whatever they say and they've got all control over you. What? What? Nobody controls me. I barely have enough control over myself. You don't control me. Not even God can control me. It's called self-control, and that's it. When you're a child, your parents have control over you, and they exert all kinds of unhealthy behaviors with that ability of control, that authority of control. Really? And most of them can't even control their fucking children. But otherwise, and that's what I said to all of you yesterday, unless you're in an institution, I mean, you're behind bars watching me, you're not in prison. Nobody's in control of you. You're not a prisoner of anything other than your mind. Know your worth. You stand up and you talk to that boss and you tell them, appreciate me or I'm gone. And that's what Terrell said. He said there was no appreciation where I worked before. And that's it. You don't appreciate what I'm doing. But when I stop doing it, are you going to appreciate it or you're just going to miss it and be mad that I'm not doing it anymore? Oh, how come she's not taking out the trash anymore? How come you're not? And that's what I mean. When I'm weak, you're supposed to be strong. When you notice I can't carry the weight, you're supposed to come behind me and pick up some of these rocks. Or you're just waiting for me to go back and pick up all the messes. You're not going to come and help me? Really? Really? So yeah, it was a day. And in the end, I mean, they took away half of my bingo players and we knew it right away. That was not going to last an hour. As soon as I saw it, I was like, we don't have enough money. This is only going to be a few games. Really? And if that was the case, I might have ended up in fucking memory care doing wood burning. They weren't really going to do wood burning, but it is on the schedule for the next couple days. And that's what she said too. She tried to be mean about it. She's like, well, I'll take you off of everything independent. Said you're going to take away the things that mean most to me. Why are you taking away from me instead of doing the job? Why do you have to take away from me to fulfill this place? Why don't you take away from your schedule of sitting in front of this computer? Why don't you go do this? Why do I get penalized for not doing everything? And that's what she tried to do with that bingo game. She knew that I was, you know what I mean? This is one of the things I like to do and that it's one of the funner things. So she's like, I'll take it away. She knew I had nothing else to do. What did she think I was going to do? I went home. Bye. Really? Bye. This isn't one and done. You fight. Really? You fight for what you believe in. You fight for what's right. You fight for yourself. Really? I'm fighting. I'm in fight mode, bro. Really? And at the end, it's not even me swinging the sword. You're in a huge fight with karma right now. I'm not even there. She was so determined to be right that she can't even see how wrong she is. And she's going to work so hard to prove that she's right by doing everything wrong. I guarantee you, I know it. When I'm sitting there and I'm passing out the cards and I'm collecting the money and we're getting ready, this is my group. They're excited about me doing this. They like this. We have fun. I get excited. We have fun. When you do it, no. So I know that my group, that crowd, was bothered by whatever just happened. Oh, Lisa's going to play. Lisa's going to do the bingo. Why do you think they had such a big fit that I wasn't there on Saturday? And if that's the case, how come you couldn't show up to bingo on Saturday? If you're so good at it, why didn't you come when there was nobody to do it? There's 3 of us here and you want to be the center of attention? Because you don't want to do anything else? Or you're done on your computer? I don't know. Really? I don't know. But it was obvious, bro. And it's going to bite her in the ass because that's what Tammy told me. Tammy said it. She said, I told her and I will tell her again and I'm going to tell you now. I do not want the kitchen staff in memory care. They're not trained to. And what did she do with the rest of the day? She put them in there. And that's where it is like a person that's never wrong is a problem. I could be wrong all day, making mistakes all day. And that's forgivable because I don't know. As long as I'm trying to say, you know what I mean? When you say, hey, Phoenix, you did that all wrong. Can you go back and fix it? I would say, can you show me how to fix it? I did what I thought was right, but can you show me the proper way? And then there's the person that say, no, I did it all right. What are you talking about? It looks perfect. I did it perfect. What are you talking about? This is good. This is what I did. And that's you justifying yourself and being defensive rather than just accepting that this isn't right and you've got to fix it. There was none of that. There was none of that. Where, you're right. I could see where you're coming from. No, she starts taking notes so she can run to Tammy and tell her that everything I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I thought you were the director. I didn't know we needed to go to the operations director with this. Really, no, because in the chain of command, we go to HR with this. I'm having difficulties with my supervisor. I don't go to the operations director with that. I go to the HR department with that. The 3 new women that we just met, those women that were signing your paperwork, those are my contact. When I'm not getting along with someone at work, I go to them. They're human resources. That's their job. Really? The director is the director of operations. Their job is to make sure that everything is flowing operationally, right? And it's following the standard operational procedures. Their job is not to deal with employees on that level. That's what the human resource team does. So now you're running, you're holding on to the hand that's about to walk you into courtroom. When it comes down to it, really? Yeah. When I call corporate, when I call HR and I tell them I'm having troubles, then they will decide what to do and call Tammy and tell Tammy what to do. It's not Tammy's call anymore. Well, until July 31st it is. But it's not. There's a whole department that runs the employees, not you. Really? Mm-hmm. But you wouldn't know that unless you're in part of a corporate structure. You don't know the departments. And that's what it was. I couldn't believe it. You've been working with these people all day. And then I had a guest come up to me and ask me, what's that guy's name, the CEO? I said, it's on my paperwork. I left it there. I can't believe I left it there. I was taking notes. I was writing down their appearance, what they look like, anything they told me. She likes to dance. She likes to paint. She's been with the club. She's been with the company for 27 years. She started out as a server. Now she's this. I was taking notes. How do I remember these people when they're gone? Right? So I couldn't remember his name. So I asked Lisa. She said, I'm not sure. And I was like, Tammy, do you know the name of our new CEO? She said, I have it written down. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm the one with memory care, and you guys are the ones shaking your hand, and you don't even know their names? Really? I remembered one of them. She's like, all right, any guesses? I was all, Greg. Greg is the senior, or is the vice president. Well, what's the president's name? What was it? I don't remember. Really? It's written down at work. That's where it's at. But yeah, that's what it is. Love. For yourself, for others, for all of that. Standing in love is not easy. What is love? Truth. God shows you his love by exposing the truth. He brings you the truth. He tells you the truth. When someone really loves you, they're truthful with you. This doesn't mean it's easy. It could be painful. My daughter said that to me. I was telling her how the dude ghosted me. She's like, that's mean. I was like, it happens all the time. She's like, this one guy, he told me, I just don't want to talk to you anymore. I was like, ouch. I was like, yeah, but at least he told you and you were able to move on, not thinking, what did I do? Wonder why he doesn't want to talk to me. When they're that direct, okay, then I guess not. I'll stop sending messages. I didn't know you didn't want to talk to me. Realistically, I mean, maybe. And that's it. What are you supposed to gauge silence by? What does this silence mean? Really? I don't know. It means to yell at him, I suppose. Said I was going to pull a Morgan card. Really? I'll do that later. I'm going to take a break. God said not to do anything. I was going to try to find something to do, but God said don't do anything. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to sit with this. And that's where you act. And sometimes you're like, you persecute yourself right away for your actions. Like, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. You didn't even understand where it came from. You don't even know why you're doing this. You need to take time to understand your reactions, where they're coming from. And are you wrong? Am I wrong for being passionate about being the only person doing everything? And maybe I'm not the only person doing everything, but you've got to at least acknowledge that I feel that way. Well, I don't know why you feel that way. Let me explain. Let me show you why I feel this way. If you're willing to listen.
I won't believe it.
What?
Okay, so a few months ago, I got...
Not right now. I don't want to hear a few months ago. Let me close this off. That has nothing to do with my video. I'm going to go see what happened to her a few months ago. I'm going to say goodbye and we're going to go get close. Really, you don't need to hear it. Just like you didn't need to hear about my son and him considering shaving his legs. I don't know. That's a weird thing. My oldest daughter, hated her arm hair. So she started shaving her arms. She shaves her arms. Really, I don't know what that feels like. I imagine it feels like leg hair and that's not nice. Really? She didn't like it. And so I tried to stop her when she went to do that. And of course I'm going to stop him. And that goes back to my teenager, Amelia. I told her not, let's wait to start because once you start this, you're going to have to maintain this. You can't shave your legs one week and let it go for a fucking month and then shave them again, which she typically does. It's so not nice. Really? Talk about leg hair. Stuff like that. I share all of my family with you. I share everything with you guys. I share my experience. I share my life. I share my fears. I share my pain. I share my tears. I share my joy. I share me with everyone that's willing to listen. Why do you do that? In hopes of inspiring you to change. I'm not all the way put together, but every time we show how unput together I am, you see how I try to put it together. And that's just supposed to inspire you in your life. If I was trying to be likable, I'd be showing you something different. A lot of what I show you is not very likable. My heart chakra's blowing up. Really? I can feel it. My chest is hurting real bad. And I smell an insect. Is it this one? Yeah. It's the Krishna. That's what I'm smelling. All right, I'm gonna take a break and stuff and breathe this out. Really? Sometimes you just need to talk it out. And breathe it out and cry it out and scream it out or dance it out or walk it out, but you need to get it out. You can't keep your feelings bottled up. And I told her that. I was like, all right, I'm going to compartmentalize this and I'm going to act like this isn't bothering me. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to put on a smile face and I'm going to go do what I do best, which is entertain. And that's it. I know how to do this. I know how to fake this. I've been faking my whole life that I'm not pissed off, that I'm not hurt, that I'm not sad, that I'm not bothered. I could fucking fake this, but only for so long. There's no reason. I'm allowed to cry at work and say that I'm feeling frustrated. I'm allowed to be upset. Really? I'm just not allowed to take it out on anyone. And that's where she felt like I was, you know what I mean? Like, she was a victim of, my attitude. Bro, you have a lot to do with this. It's my attitude, but it's also my doings and yours. You have a part to play in this. You're not innocent. Really? Really. And with the weirdness, bro, I don't, and that's where I get cold. I get real cold. I didn't even look at either of them when they said that. She said, I'm going to do bingo. I said, all right. I grabbed my stuff, didn't give him no eye contact, just walked out. I'm one of the coldest energies when I turn off. You notice I'm not lighting up you. I'm cold towards you. 100%. If I don't like you and I'm not dealing with you, you 1000%. I'm not subtle about it. You know not to approach me. I make sure you know. And if you still do it, I'm going to get loud with you and I'm going to make it very clear. And that was it. You did too much right here, Lisa. That was a little over the top. And considering the fact that you were supposed to be doing something else, this was perfect. Really? Oh yeah. I don't need them to look at me like I'm not doing my job because they're looking at me like I'm doing a great job. I need you to see why I'm getting stressed out with this great job. I need you to see what she's not doing. Stop looking at everything I'm doing and look at everything she's not, please. And why I'm being called to do everything. Truly? Yeah. Real talk. And when I said shit like that, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, why is it my job to stock up the sodas, to stock up everything? Why is it my job to be the only person to disinfect? Why am I the only person you were here 2 weeks before me, and yet we've been here for 2 months and I'm the only person to run a vacuum in this room? I'm always the one doing all this. Why? Why is it my job? And that's because I made it my job. It was never my job to do everything. And that's what it means to be a martyr. Really? No more of that. Actually, as I said this, hold on. Because we have the magicians, the martyrs, and the madmen. Where are we at in this? I don't know. My memory isn't. Oh. Three of Wands. That looks good. What is that? Saint Guinefort? Well, in our 10-day energy, it said that, I forgot. Was it Saw? Was going to come and destroy the serpents of the Nile River. Really? Well, if they're not destroying you, that dog, and as I said, I'm feeding you to the dogs, is sure going to eat your ass up. Hey, look at the Four of Wands. That's funny. Really? Well, the Four of Wands is about happy stability, and he just seems to have a whole happy family there. I liked it. Is one of those your wife? Are they of age? What's going on in this picture? Picture me rolling. Oh, look at the Five of Wands. They're beating another priest. This is good. Three of Wands. Five. Saint Guinefort. Saint Guinefort was a greyhound dog. Oh, it's the dog. Who lived during the 1100s in central France. Although not officially recognized by the Catholic Church, Guinefort was revered by peasants in the Lyon region who celebrated the dog as a protector of children. That was the first thing I said. I'm feeding you to the dogs. The dog was owned by a knight and was left alone and with the knight's child one day. A snake entered the nursery and the Guinefort attacked it, saving the child's life. When the knight entered, he saw the dog covered with blood and assumed he had hurt the child, without thinking, oh, he killed Guinefort. Once the truth was discovered, the knight fell into a deep depression. The castle was destroyed shortly after, and the estate turned into a wasteland. That's what I said. Watch what they do to you after this. Locals planted a tree on the dog's grave, believing it could save their children from sickness or injury. They continued to worship the Guinefort as a folk saint until Father Stephen of Bourbon cut down the tree and burned the dog's bones. The Three of Wands indicates a cooperative endeavor that will be beneficial. It also may suggest commerce, strength in all its forms, and a discovery of new ideas. It's a sad story. Killed old Yeller. That's sad. That's sad. Whatever. And that's it too. It's like, I said it yesterday. Treat people with kindness. Treat them with dignity. Treat them with respect. Because you don't know when the last time you'll see them. I know my energy. I could wake up tomorrow and say, fuck that job. And you will never see me again. And that's because you didn't treat me right. You ran me off. You made me feel uncomfortable here. You made me feel unwanted, unimportant, used. Nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody's going to call that home. Nobody's going to stay in an energy of that. You don't make people feel that way and expect them to stay. And that goes back to, the dude. You showed me that I was unimportant. You may have said I was special, but you showed me. All those words that you put in text messages don't mean nothing because you showed me by your actions, bro. Your words did not align with your actions. And when you came back the next day, you said you're having troubles in your life. I thought you were sick. It's been 2 days. And that's it. I cannot. No, you're not going to do that shit to me. Fuck Mercury retrograde. I don't care where it is. If you don't have proper communication, you can't text a bitch back. You can't let me know, hey, I'm busy. I can't talk right now. I will text you when I can. Okay, but I'm going to sit there waiting for you when you text me back because you said you would. You said, but you didn't do. And that's what I mean. It's like all that shit that Wolfman talks, all that shit that Russ talks, all that shit that y'all be talking does not align with what you're walking. You're just talking as you walk, but you're not walking in any of that. You're none of what you say. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Jesus Christ. He really expects this one to be really good. He's like, he thinks that all the rappers are going to love this. Real rappers rap better than that. Russ, when are you going to realize that? You can't tip the scale. and you're hardly impressing. Really? No. They want to see a pair of big tits talk about eating dick. They don't want to hear about you and your pussy problems. You and your mommy issues and your girlfriend problems. Shut up. And then for all of the people in the world, here comes Russ to tell you that he's a better person than you. All right, Lucifer. You're like the worst human that ever existed. You don't even know what it means to be human. Right up there with fucking Hades. This is the first time God put you in skin. We might as well strip it. Might as well strip it off of you and put you back wherever you came from, because you're not really wearing it properly. Really? Yeah. Keep that in mind. There's words and then there's actions. And believe me, I walk it like I talk it. I will only say it once or twice, and then I will walk the fuck on with this. Really? I will walk away. And that's why people are timid, because they know I will fucking bounce on their ass. And that has to do with you, not me. You can't maintain a bitch, which is really the reason is it's not about maintaining me. You can't maintain the lie that you got going on. And eventually I'm going to catch on and I'm going to be out of there. Because number one, I don't deal with liars. When I figure out you're a liar, I'm gone. I don't deal with them. I lost respect for Lisa the day I found out she was lying. I told her to her face, I will never trust anything you say now. She promised I will never lie to you. Really? You broke that promise, I'm sure. That promise was a lie. That's it. If you can lie to this person and that person and this, you don't care. You are a liar. You'll say whatever you need to get yourself out of a tight situation. That's pathetic to me. And there's other things. Well, if she finds out, she's not going to. Is it me or is it just really reality? If they knew that you were this type of low vibration, this has nothing to do with a shadow. Because it's a part of you that you're trying to hide. Fine, it's a shadow. But it's truthfully something wrong with you that you don't want to change about you. Most shadows are, to be honest. Some of them. You know what I mean? Something that you've got to do something about. And you don't do nothing about it, you just try to hide it. Really? I'm not hiding shit. Not really. I'm trying to think, am I hiding anything? Holding back? I tend to hide my body sometimes, like the parts I don't like. I'll dress that up. But as far as my personality and try to be something totally that I'm not, no, bro, I'm not. That's why it's like people can only accept, the ones that do accept me are important because they fully accept what the fuck I am. Everyone else wants to tear it apart. Oh, I like this part of her, but I don't like this part of her. And I like this, but I don't like this. You don't like me. I'm not a fucking, you know what I mean? You don't get to tear me apart and decide which parts you get to have and which parts you get to reject. You take it all or you leave it all. Really? And I posted that too. If you don't become comfortable with my shadow, you're never going to see my light. And it's the person that makes me feel most comfortable in my shadow that will always get the light. If I don't have to, you know what I mean? If you're comfortable around it, then there's no reason for it to show itself. Pretty much. I don't know what your day was about, but that was my day. I wonder if it was in this. I'm going to look one more thing and then I'm going. I wonder if it was in the weekly. Did it say this shit was about to happen? July 20th. Mercury, Monday, on the other hand, peace, love, and understanding, but also will be willing to let go or will be willing to go to war to protect these cherished ideals. This is a time for standing up to bullies while simultaneously throwing a loving embrace around worthy souls. A feeling of excitement and spontaneity dives Tuesday. Dare to push boundaries and try new things. Sun leaving Cancer on Wednesday, shifting from the cozy confines of your home to the unlimited vistas of the great outside. Really? Friday is ideal for love and romance, making it an auspicious time to ask a crush on a date. Don't bother. Unless I quit my job, don't bother me. Weekend outlook. The weekend hosts infrequent powerful sextile between Neptune and Pluto. Outmoded beliefs and ideals must be dissolved so that you can build a dramatically new world view. 5-star week. You're stronger than you think. If a lifetime built up of fear and doubt is holding you back, let it go so you can go for what you truly desire. It did say that. It said we were going to have to go to war. I'm warring. Is the war inside? Sometimes it is, but not this time. Really? No. Sometimes you got to realize that I'm just not, you know what I mean? This is all internal and I'm taking it out on the external. No. My external is fucking up my internal. This is taking away my peace. Really? I don't have to explain it, and I try to. I'm tired of trying to explain to you where I was coming from with this. It doesn't matter where I'm coming. The question is, where am I going with this? I'm going to walk out the door if you don't fix this and acknowledge that this is happening. And that's for any person, place, or thing. If you can't acknowledge it, I'm out. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. I will give you a couple of explanations, but I'm not going to sit here and plead my case over and over to a bunch of people that aren't listening. You're not my judge and jury anyways. I can see somebody like, you sabotage a lot of good things. Bro, if they were good, then why would I sabotage them? That's just your feeling, your misunderstanding. And going back to it, I could win the fucking lottery tonight, and this conversation is never being had again. And if it was, I was chasing money, but it's still the same thing. This isn't about money. Never is around here. It's not about status. It's about truth. Really? Mm-hmm. All right, well, that confirmed it. What does that mean? I don't know. Whenever you're sitting there like, damn, did I fuck up my life? Did I make a mistake? Did I do the wrong thing? Where did this come from? You check the cards. The cards will tell you. You're kind of blowing this out of control. You're being a little impulsive. You're being all these things. Or it'll show you Ace of Cups. Fucking, you know what I mean? I'm surprised I didn't get the Queen of Swords. It's like, this was all going to happen. And when I didn't think so, there it is. Maybe not for you guys, because you're not energetic beings. You don't feel this burst of fire that just rose up in you, and you've got to fight to the end for yourself. You guys don't fight for anything. I'm not surprised. Really? But don't try to judge me. And that's it. You wish you could walk away. You can't, because you're afraid. And if you walked away from this, then nothing good would ever come to you. That's your fucked up belief system, not mine. I didn't even know what I was walking into with this job. And it turned out to be as that. Too good to be true. Really? I don't know. And that's where it is when things get rough, here comes a whole new team. Really? I'm not alone in this. I could fight, but that's where it is. As Kobe says, you want to talk about why you're always walking away from relationships? It's not worth the fight. I'm not going to fight this woman. If she don't want to do her work, then fuck it. You could do all the work. Really? That's how I look at it. You could either help me or you could do it all. That's where we're at right now. And that's where you think. That's where you think you got me. You're either going to do this or you're not going to work here. Fine, I'm out. You go ahead and do it all. Really? Go for it. Go replace me. You could find another person to run these stupid games, but they'll never have my personality. They'll never make the impact that I did. They'll never care like I did. They'll never be me. And that's your fucking problem, is thinking I'm replaceable. You, on the other hand, oh shit, you come a dime a dozen, bro. Realistically, you know what that saying means, right? A dime a dozen? That means it costs 10 cents to get 10 eggs from a chicken. How much does it cost to get, you know what I mean, to get your eggs? And that's that old saying, don't put all your eggs in the same basket. Why? You drop the basket and then there goes all your eggs. Bro, I am fucking egging motherfuckers. Left and right. I don't give a shit how much these motherfuckers cost. Really? I'm just baby killing out here. This is a baby bird. Cross your fucking face. Baby killing. Really? I don't know. That's about the only thing you'll get as the Lilith, as the baby killer. Really? I mean, what a waste of sperm and eggs.
Yeah. All right, I'm moving on. Really? Yes. It's pretty outside. It's cloudy. It never happens. There's no rain, but I'm still going out there. Really? Let's see what's in the messages. Please, God. Please, God, don't be stupid in the messages. Let me see what's in here. Oh, there's that chick. Who's praying for me? Do you want me to pray for you? You know, I love that you may not have it all in what? Have it all in influence on the live. I love that you keep going. Hey, thanks. I don't really have a choice. Sometimes I wish I could just stop and just cry and give up. And I don't know, death is not an option. You can't get out of tomorrow. You don't really have a choice. Pedro. Damn, Pedro, you're a Libra. I would have liked you if I didn't see that. I'm just messing around. What's your problem with Libras? I think you think too much. I think it holds you back from having adventures. It's just my experience. Really? I don't know. But I appreciate you guys coming, especially the ones that did. I appreciate you too. And that's really what matters. It doesn't matter who doesn't show up. And that's how I work my activities. It doesn't matter who didn't show up. You're here, and you're the most important person here because you're here and you wanted to be part of this. So I'm doing this for you. Really? I appreciate you too. I know you're not the only ones that caught this video, but you know, you're the only ones that were brave enough to be part of it. There's lots of people, you know, the stalkers that stand on their computers and don't log on and are watching me and don't want me to know they're watching, which I can sense that. But the ones that want to take the time to be part of what I'm doing, you become important to me. You made yourself important by being part of something important, which is what I'm doing. So as much as you appreciate me, let me just tell you guys, I appreciate you. I really do. There's a lot of these people in this world that just make my life a living fucking hell. But when a couple of kind people come in and they feed on the, you know, they add to the conversation and they have some, you know, words of wisdom and some positivity, bro, you mean more to me than all the rest of these fucking people. In essence, I'm trying to make people like what you are. Keep that in mind. Somebody goes to try to put you down, remember, the phoenix put you up, bro. You put yourself up. Really? Yeah. And as far as you, goddess, I'm really funny about praying for people because my prayers are answered. So I don't want to pray for you and then it ruin your life. I want God to give you peace without hurting you. That's all I want from him, for you. Really, I really enjoyed you coming in yesterday and I was having a rough day and you made it fun. You took the sting off of my, you know what I mean, my venom. And I appreciate you and I'd like to return that. But I got to be careful because if I ask God to bless you, you know, what's a blessing to me could be a curse to you. And really, all I want for everyone is to have some peace. I asked him to bring you some peace without making it a problem. And I hope that works. If it does, I'll pray that more. Really, that's all we can is have some peace through it. And that goes back to the dude. My life is really chaotic right now. Life is. It never calms down. And the reason that it's chaotic is your insides. Really, if you go to the right mindset, nothing outside, the storms outside don't bother you. What's bothering you is what's inside. Really? And based on those text messages, I can see how this is bothering you. Really? Something was bothering you before you ended up in my DMs. All love, all compassion. Really? Yeah, that's all good. And that's why I told him, I forgive you. Don't worry about it. I'm not showing up at your job to give you ugly looks. You're not going to see me at your job. Really? No. Better not show up at mine either. Seriously. Hey, I love you guys. I'm going to take a break. We might do some more and we might not. It says not to do anything. Really, I'm a little burnt out. I might just crash off of this. Just cry and crash. It's overwhelming. When you're trying to, you know what I mean, to express yourself to people and they're rejecting everything and you're sitting there, you know what I mean, trying to fight for yourself and nobody wants to hear it, it's frustrating. Think about a small child, right? You have like 3 kids and, you know, the middle kid is always being ignored. And they're just, you know what I mean? And they finally come to you and they're like, well, you're doing with this one and you're doing everything with that one and you're disregarding what you're not doing with this child. And that's where it is. Maybe in her eyes, she thinks she's doing everything right. But not with me, you're not. Maybe you're doing everything right with Tammy. Maybe you're doing everything right with your emails, but you're not. And that's it. There's always room where we could be better. And she didn't want to hear it. You're neglecting a lot of the work, and I feel like the shit's rolling down on me and I'm getting stressed out. Can you say that to your boss? You're not supposed to. All the ways I tried to say this, there's no way nicely to say this. And will they hear it? You be talking to people, and they be nodding. They don't hear you. No, they're not listening. Hey, I love you. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye now.